to episode 1 of season 6. Yeah, season 6 already. And we are in current time. I'm going to start off with January of 2022. Now, the 30th New Year's Eve of last year, I brought my wife to meet her brother and sister-in-law in Lafayette because they were passing through. And she was going to go spend a week or 2 weeks with them up in Arkansas. And then in a week or two, I was going to go up and get her and bring her back. Well, while she's gone, I started working on the room. And when I say working on the room, the boys don't live at home anymore. We're empty nesters. So we have a 4-bedroom house. It's nothing special. It's just a wooden frame house on piers. For all of those of you who think I'm living up ravishly, she was using one of the bedrooms as a sewing room. And I said, listen, why don't we just knock down the wall, combine those 2 rooms, those 2 bedrooms, and then you'll have a sewing room where you won't be cramped up, at least for a while. Because that's going to end up being too small too, I know. So I proceeded to channel my inner Bob Vila, which any of y'all listen to the morning show, y'all know I'm not a carpenter of any kind. But I was doing pretty good. I knocked the wall down, got everything together. My dad came over and helped me with the flooring and with the sheetrock on the wall. My son came over, studded up a wall. So I had help for a couple of days or so, but I didn't end up finishing it up, doing the sanding on the sheetrock, and we trimmed the room. That first week I was pushing pretty hard that she was gone. I would come to the station in the morning, do the show, then I'd go home, work, and then come back to the station at night, finish up what I had to finish up, and then hit it all over again. What happened, though, is that my immune system must have gotten down a little bit because I wasn't sleeping enough. And I caught the Omicron, or the COVID. And this was the week that I was supposed to go get her. And she said, well, you got to take a test and make sure you don't have it before you come get us. Because my sister-in-law was sick up there. And so was Royland for a while. So they ended up having the Omicron too. Not knowingly. My sister-in-law had tested negative. But this was on the first day. Or the day before. She really had full-blown symptoms of it. But nonetheless, I took the test. I was positive. I did the 5-day quarantine thing, and then I was good to go. So I went up and got her and brought her back. Now, supposedly, one of the side effects of the new COVID, Omicron, whatever you want to call it, the symptoms aren't really as bad as the other 2, but it does leave you with a state of depression. I've talked to several people, and that has seemed to be the case. Even with me, I am not a depressed person. Never have been. I'm not one that easily gets depression. Just don't. I'm always laid back and upbeat, 98% of the time. But I found myself in a 2-week stretch of really being depressed and down. And that concerned me, and I prayed against that. Came against that spirit. Because I know that's not me. Now, I'm no longer in that state, but for about 2 weeks, I was. Just doubting all kind of stuff. Feeling down, having a pity party for myself on all kinds of things. When the scripture says David encouraged himself. You got to learn how to do that sometimes. You got to learn how to encourage yourself, because sometimes there will be nobody there to cheerlead for you. There will be nobody to lift you up except for Jesus. And you'll have to depend on him. You'll have to encourage yourself, which is what I did. I encouraged myself in the Word. I stayed in it. I'm staying in it. Staying in the Word. And this year going forward, like I said on the morning show, one morning, It's going to take the Word this year. You're going to have to be in the Word, have your faith built up high to make it. It's going to take every bit of it. And that's how we started off January with the Omicron. I'm thinking back, and in 2021 of January, we had COVID, the original COVID. And now this January, we had the Omicron. Crazy stuff. We're all good to go now, supposedly. I'm going to tell you this, though. It takes a while to get your energy back. It takes a while to get your energy back from the COVID stuff, to get back to your normal get-go. At least it did me. So it's a new year. I got to figure out the direction we're going. I got to take a look at things here at the station. And, of course, I'm always praying, seeking the Lord's guidance. But we can't have another year like we had. When I say you can't have another year like we had financially, the station is hurting really bad. And I've been asking for pleas for monthly support. I don't want to be the morning show that is always asking for money. But I'm stretching my faith and believing that this year, and I have a stronger faith than I had last year in the financial department. So I'm believing that we're not going to be in a financial bind. Now, I don't know how that's going to happen. Right now, I can tell you that we're in a serious financial bind. Because I don't have credit anymore to keep the station afloat when the money doesn't come in. And we've lost some serious amounts of money without being able to replace it. Monies that were used to carry the radio station to keep it open. I'm talking electric bills. I'm talking internet. All the things you got to have here. Which also leaves us no room for if something goes out and we have to buy it. We just can't. In fact, this will be the second year without building insurance. So God forbid if something was to happen, everything we'd have in here wouldn't be covered. You know, I also had to let the alarm go. That's part of the insurance. I mean, we've cut every place that we can cut, wanting to be a good steward. And we have to be. And I always remind myself that we're on God's economy, not man's economy. And we're on His time frame, not mine. But I'm human. It doesn't make that any easier. But going forward, this year, that is what I'm believing for. And I'm hoping that folks will pray for us for a financial breakthrough. And I'm hoping that we'll see more people giving to the station so we can continue. We are actively reaching millions of people. That's the truth. We're in 188 countries out of the 195 known countries. We're not in every one of them, but we're in 188 of them. And that's a great thing. It's a great ministry for people to get Jesus through the music and through the spoken word and the shows that we have on here. Now, January also seen the start of the Songwriter Shack filming, finally. Now, anytime I put filming on Facebook, my old boss will catch me. And I do it on purpose now. I say, you're not filming. He's so literal matter of fact on everything when it comes to this kind of stuff. But we had 3 cameras out in 3 different angles. And we did it. The first one. My first guest was Trevor Bohannon. He came in and did 2 morning shows with me. Came in on a Thursday and a Friday. And in that Thursday, after the show, we actually got things together. The finishing touches. The finishing parts of getting everything to work. And Patricia came in and worked the cameras for us. And we recorded the parts of the show. Now, all I have left to do is go record mine. And I just got to find some time to do that, and I will. But I was really pleased overall with the way the Songwriter Shack came out. The backdrop is great. The sound is great. And the show itself is going to be great. I scripted it out. And it's going to be fun. We had fun doing it. especially the making up of the song. I'll tell you this much. We had to make up a song on the fly. We asked for a topic, and somebody said family reunion. So that was the topic. So we made a song up on the fly about a family reunion. I would sing a couple of lines. He would sing a couple of lines. And oh my goodness, is it funny. The mistakes aren't out of it. It is live, and that part's going to stay live. Well, it's all filmed live, but I mean, this part's not going to be edited. It's going to be one of the most funnest parts of the show. Of course, that's going to be on the YouTube channel, the Hunter Logan YouTube channel. This is not a HLE radio type thing, the Songwriter Shack. It's a Hunter Logan thing. But it will be used to witness and minister, because found out about Trevor, how he started serving the Lord, how he came back to the Lord, how he got into songwriting. It's an in-depth show where you find out about the artist. So I can't wait till that gets going. And it'll be soon. I'm really pleased overall. In the middle of working on the Songwriter Shack, the day before Trevor came in, I was about halfway done with the last song for the Prodigal Project. Now, I released The Prodigal, the first CD that I had released since 2005. I hadn't released anything. The last one before that was Swamp Pop. This is the first Christian album ever. Well, I'm continuing to write. I didn't know there was going to be a Prodigal Part 2. I really didn't. And the Lord said, here, this is the second part of the project. And I'm like, okay. So that leaves me with Prodigal 2 with another 10 songs. There was 13 on the first project, so that's 23 songs. Can't have an odd number. So I'm looking for a 24th song. I got to write a song, so there'll be 24 to complete the Prodigal Project, which the Prodigal Project is going to be on Jump Drive or Thumb Drive, however you want to call it, Gig Stick, whatever terminology you want to use, but that's what it's going to be on. You're going to have 24 songs on there, the previous 23, and one brand new song, which I just finished. It's called Jesus Never Argued It. You've heard me on the morning show, if you've listened, talk about how Jesus and the disciples never argued the word. They never tried to prove it right. If people didn't want to hear, they just went on. That's what Jesus told them to do. They don't receive it, go on somewhere else. He never Bible thumped anyone. Neither did the disciples. So that's going to be the song that rounds out the project. But also on this project, not only will you have the 24 songs, but you're going to have a breakdown of the songs, a commentary, if you will, of how those songs came to be, the inspiration for the song, how I wrote it, each song. Now, you won't have to listen to that to listen to the CD. You won't have to listen to me talk and then the song. But on a separate part of that stick, you'll have a commentary, and I'm going to take you through the process of me writing the songs and how it started. They didn't all come in order of the order I'm putting them in on the project. But the body of work overall as a whole, if you look at it, is the Prodigal Project, meaning the prodigal son came home. And many of you are familiar with that story. So that's going to be coming out fairly soon. I'm hoping to have that out, I guess, around March, hopefully. We'll just see how that all works out. But the song is done, the new one. But right now, I actually got two songs that are getting a lot of play. The one that got released was When Jesus Walked By. And I think that one's starting to creep up on some charts. But The Man on the Middle Cross has been getting played in a lot of places too. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. And again, I'm not recording these songs to start doing what I used to do, being an artist on the road. These are just testimony songs. It's my testimony. It's my battle. It's my walk. It's my learning. It's my reaping. It's my sowing. The Prodigal Project is the last 20 years of my life. It basically tells a story in song of the last 20 years of my life. That's the Prodigal Project in a nutshell. And then it's time to go on to new things. Still going to record and sing and write. That's for sure. But HLE record label is back open for business. And some of these songs I have that I've written that I haven't recorded, I'm going to be looking for some unknown artists, some that people have never heard of before. And I'm going to get them to record them. And then we're going to release them to radio and see how they do. This way, these folks won't have to worry about being taken advantage of. So there's a lot of people out there that will take advantage of them. And they don't know. But me being as one that had been taken advantage of before, I won't let that happen. Well, I got to leave it right there for now. Season 6, Episode 1. Never thought I'd even get this far. So interesting. I'm looking for great things, though, this year to come. I know God's going to do some great things. So, hey, check me out on Twitter, Facebook, Reverb Nation, Instagram. My music's in all the digital places. And I'll see you next time. Always remember, Duke 28 and 2.